Hola, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Before the video starts, I just want to do a quick, give you guys an update. I finally settled on these Huxtley work pants and I think they've been great. So at the time, they only had a couple colors. Even in the sun all day, you know, being on rooftops, the black color, it's super nice, goes well with the uniform, and I haven't felt too hot. Like, it's been breathable, durable, and stretchy, which always helps, right? So, you know, they've been super comfortable. I love all the pockets that you get. I even love this side pocket, which really helps. It's to store your phone, which, if you're like me, you're crouched down, you're sitting down, you're in an awkward position, you know, you got to throw your leg out, try and get that front pocket, the phone out of there. And it's always a hassle. Having it on the side, I've gotten so used to it. I didn't think I would. They're not super cheap. They're not as cheap as going down to the Walmart, getting, you know, whatever pants you can get there. But they're also not ridiculously expensive like these $200 work pants that I've seen, 200 plus. So these are under 100 bucks each, durable. You know, I think they've been great. If you guys want to check them out, I do have a discount code. It's reliable HVACR 15. Get you a discount on the pants. You know, get yourself set up if you guys want to check that out. And you can also pair it with the best work socks that I've ever tried. So again, just to let you guys know, I'm still using the Camel City Mill socks. They're merino wool. I have the high and the low cut. I think low cut's really good for the summertime. And I mean, you're still gonna have some sweating going on. There is like a weird magic sorcery going on because they keep you as dry as you can be. You still sweat, whatever it is, but at the end of the day, you do not feel nasty. So if you guys wanna go check out those socks, I got another discount code, reliable HVACR 10. You can go check that out, get yourself a discount. And they also have buy more, save more, right? If you want to get a whole set for yourself, it comes out cheaper that way. And what got me on those was that it has a 10-year warranty. So if you rip those socks for the price that they are, they're about $20 a pair. For the price that they are, if you rip them, they'll send you a new pair. And that's within 10 years. It's crazy. So you can also check out any tool recommendations, any discounts that I have going on. You can check them out at my website, reliablehvacr.net. And no, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. So I actually bought these, right? I want to share with you guys what I actually use out in the field and what I find comfortable dealing with the heat that we do here in Texas. And I've been able to get you some discount codes. So this is the rooftop where I worked on this huge back kitchen RTU. I had to get a ladder, climb up, whole hassle with the wrong motors. You want to go check that out. I don't know why that video didn't do well, maybe because I was swearing and I don't know what, but that's the last one that I worked on here. What they're complaining about now is the front AC. I don't think it's even on. Not on whatsoever. There are lights. It's all wet on this roof. All right, so what do we got? Phases are fine. Obviously our transformer's fine because we got green lights on all the boards. All right. Let's do a little troubleshooting here. Of course it gets sunny. It's been rainy and cloudy all day, except this was out of town, so by the time I got here. So what do we got? We got like I said, I think our phases are fine. 208. Let's see if our thermostat's even calling. R to common, 23. R is the one that switches over from common to yellow. It is calling. Fan motor, blower motor is calling. Our blower motor is on. So more than likely, pressure control. Now, if we have a high, this is a micro channel, unless our fan motor didn't come on. Well, that's working. Well, not working, but it's not locked up. Yeah, the motor comes on. Okay, cool. These have connectors. I can check them real quick. So we shall move on to our connectors to checking voltage. So basically, some of them have connectors. .23 volts going all the way through on the low. Now the high side, I'm not able to check here. They always put the high side straight in. Low side has connectors that I can put my leads in. These, I don't even see, like, they go all the way back, I think. So we got red, orange, black, and white. I'm just gonna check continuity. If I don't get continuity, I'll check them individually. No, I got everything there. All right, let's reset it. To 1097. Guys, that thing's running backwards. You can feel all the heat here. Yeah, that confused me for a second because I was like, man, it turned on. So I'm gonna go see if I have this contactor really quick and I'll be right back. All right, so this is all I have. It's usually what I carry for 24 volts. We're gonna take that out. My God, there is a storm over there and a storm behind me, but right above me, it's super sunny. It's freaking hot too. Oh, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. That's not gonna work. Damn it, I don't have my other screwdriver. I don't want to go back to the car. Pretty straightforward. Wire for wire. Do I not have any of my screwdrivers? Damn it. If these don't come off, I usually use a flat. Just wedge it up from the bottom. If I had a better screwdriver. Oh, my damn screwdrivers. Blue is the top, red is the bottom. Right? Yeah. Same for the other side. Go. There we go. Trash. Jesus, it's so hot. Okay, gone. 5-minute delay and then we'll find out. Whoa. All right, it came on. There we go. Okay, I can barely reach, but I know it's working. I can feel the air coming out the top. Going full speed. And before you could feel like a bunch of heat radiating right here. So we're good, I can feel the air. So that's good. One stage came on. It's already cooling. And then we'll keep an eye on this at that 80. See if that moves. All right, second stage just kicked on. everything looking good. $73, yeah, it's dropping. I can read it there. It's not a perfect reading there, but you know, it is what it is. So I opened this up. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is like pitted really bad, and there's something here. So yeah, there's something in there. I don't know if that was keeping it from coming on. Let me get a bigger screwdriver. What do you know? We got ants, I believe. Right there, there's a little critter right there. I don't know if it's ants or spiders or what, but probably get on the sun side. Something was nesting in there, and that was screwing up everything. Pitted, but not the worst that I've seen. Is just, you know, when you get bugs going in there. Oh, this side's real bad. That's where it was starting to weld. Oh, this side's real bad, yeah. And you had a bunch of critters in there, so that's why I was only getting like 97 volts out. So it's always good to look at your failing parts, compare them to the new ones if you want. So if you wanted to go further, check the resistance on the coil, check the resistance on the new one versus the old one. I have videos on that too if you guys want to go check that out. I grabbed a drink. I have a feeling they're going to be calling us for an ice machine problem, because it seemed like it was low on ice, and I was in the front working on the AC, and I walked by it a few times throughout the call. I never heard any, like, the condenser come on or anything, or it making any ice or anything. So it seems like it's low on ice, and it probably hasn't turned on. All right, guys, so it's always good to do a little bit of investigating, figure out why the part gave out. But contactors, is, you know, you usually think about the pitted contacts or anything like that getting in the way, them welding shut, you know, so on and so forth. But I rarely see ants in the contactors here. It's funny, as weird as it is, because we're in Texas. You would think, you know, we get a lot of critters and all that. Where I'm at, we don't see any of that. I don't see lizards or, you know, anything jumping into the contactors or capacitors. But I mostly work on rooftops, but I do work on the ground sometimes, and I still never seen it. So that was one that was just, you know, ants or spiders. I figured, you know, before I saw it on the camera, like something crawled up in there and either nested. It could have been webs or whatever it was, and you start getting a voltage drop. So I don't think I showed it or pointed it out because I couldn't find where it had the error codes. It gave me like heating error codes and then like economizer codes. But I know that thing was flashing on the main board. So usually there's these little LEDs, and they're supposed to be like solid to show you like it's on. Believe it was blinking like a couple times. So, you know, it just, by experience, I was like, okay, something locked out, right? One of the pressure controls maybe tripped a few times, and then the board locked itself out. So resetting the disconnect is what resets the system and the board. So before all that, all I wanted to make sure was that it was not a pressure control that was keeping us out of the system, because at that point, either we need to clean out the coil, or we need to check for a low charge, like for a leak. So once I checked all the, and there's different ways to do it. If it has the connections, I like to check on the pressure control, like for the voltage going through. You can also check across. If you got 0 volts and you do have voltage on one side, or you know you got voltage going in, then you know they're closed. If you get If you check across and you get like 23, 24 volts, then one side is open because you're like grounding it. So checked all across, all our pressure controls are fine. So I was like, okay, we don't have a leak. We don't have a, at least at the moment, not a high head. So they had said it had been off for a few days, so I didn't pay too much mind to that. Turned it on. Initially I thought the motor might have been locked up, but it slowly started turning and it ramped up, and I was like, that threw me off because I'm like, did it turn on or not? So then I started just checking the voltage, because it didn't sound right. You went over there, I heard hissing. Basically the condenser coil was just getting super hot because there was no air going across it through the top. It was blowing it more so down, but not really, you know, it's not really going full force anyway. So I could tell. And then usually I'm taller than the unit, so I could go over and check it really quick, but this one was, I couldn't tell right away. But I could feel the heat coming off, and then I went to go check that contactor. I'm like, okay, we need to check what the line side is. Are we getting that on the load side? And we weren't. We got like half the voltage, so obviously I was like, okay, one of the contacts is bad or something like that. But it was weird because I was getting, I think 120 if I checked it separately. I don't know, but like basically you check in, you check out, something was wrong. So luckily it was just that contactor. They might need the other ones, but that has to be recommended. So just a nice simple one. I'm getting out at a decent time. I can go pick up my kid. Eating on the road, that's why I have the drink with me. But you know, I should have shown the previous call. I had to go help a guy out with a walk-in freezer that completely burnt up because of you know, we're getting storms like I pointed out, and apparently that had a big surge over there that burnt up. Well, I think the timer was bad to begin with, so it wasn't making contact properly for the defrost heaters. But other than that, with the power surge, they had burnt out. You had to replace both fan motors, right? And all the wiring that goes in the harness to go out to the side of the box in the evaporator, all burnt to a crisp. He said he had to run new wires when he installed the motors. He found a lot of stuff bypassed and this and that. So we've had other companies within the past year, they've been tried out on these some of these locations. So I don't know. The last thing I remember working on that specific unit was just like a contactor and, you know, some electrical stuff on the roof. Nothing in the evaporator, but so got that fixed, figured out, fixed up. I went to go help him because the wiring was a little bit different, and there was a lot of jumpers and wire nuts. So I was like, okay, we need power here, here, and here, you know. Check the defrost timer, check the heaters, all that good stuff, just make sure it was working for them. But man, they're trying to band-aid that until they're ready to buy new units next year. Like once January comes around, they'll have a whole new budget to do any change outs that were recommended. So we got to get them by until then. It's a really old system. So I should have just shown that because I was like, man, this is a mess. But we got it figured out. It wasn't too bad. I was in and out. I was just out of town, and then I got another out of town call. That was out of town east. Now I'm out of town west. Now I got to get back in town an hour or so, and just a lot of driving today. So I'm not doing too many calls, but it's a lot of driving. So like I said, a simple one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Just keep it simple. I've been talking about that a lot on the podcast with guys like, you know, that are mentoring apprentices and all that. Is they need to know the basics. They need to keep it simple. Your major components are always going to be the same. And if you ever have electrical issues, which is like 90% of the time is electrical, you need to hook up your gauges as a last resort, or if you know there's a leak and you want to see, you know, your pressures. Electrical, knowing that to check electrical gets you out of so many calls. So like this one, check our power coming in. I knew from experience that board had the LED light on. We had 24 volts. Another thing that I check on the train specifically is like the phase monitor. They usually have a phase monitor that is red if something's wrong with the phases, or green if each have power and everything's fine. You know, if it's green, I know I got my supply, right? I still check it. I still check where the incoming voltage is to the contactors. I'll start there. If I'm losing power, then I'll go back to the disconnect. But yeah, you keep it simple. You go one by one. I was just checking each contactor, and then checking the control, which is our thermostat. Was I getting signal coming up? Yes, I was. So something else is keeping it out, which was the board. Now, why did the board keep it out? Because it tripped so many times and locked out. So you just keep going and going and going, and you'll figure it out. And it's super simple. I used to rack my brain going to a call, like, oh, what could it be? I don't know this, I don't know that. To where, you know, after a while, when it clicks and you get comfortable, you don't care what the call is. You just go there and you start your troubleshooting, because you know you're going to start at your basics and work your way up to whatever complicated issue it might be. So yeah, just been talking about that a lot on the podcast. Speaking of which, hope to see you guys in Orlando in February. I just got confirmation, and I'm discussing with them. Reliable HVACR podcast will be at the podcast pavilion. So I'm super honored to get a spot there with all the professional podcasters that I personally look up to, and you know, really enjoy all of them, what they do. And then like, you got my little podcast setting up shop in there now, so that's kind of cool. So hopefully you guys come out, enjoy that. I will definitely be recording while I'm out there, so it'll come out either way. Remember to check out all my tool recommendations in my website. Any discounts or updates that I, you know, need to share with you guys will be at reliablehvacr.net. Appreciate you guys that have checked that out. Just, you know, work pants, the best Camel City Mill socks you'll ever get. I got discounts for all that stuff. And then check us out on HVAC nights, you know, our weekly therapy session where we just BS about, you know, our work week and, you know, the stuff that we've gone through, and, you know, talk shop. So check that out every Thursday night. That's a live podcast. We can take questions and all that. It's a good time with Jake Kraus and Curtis, HVAC guy. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. It was a simple one. I appreciate you guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys.